What's up, guys? Mike Puma here with another Marketing Monday. So, a little bit of a rant here. I've been having some one-on-one conversations with agents here in our brokerage, and there seems to be a common theme. And what I'm finding is really it comes back to a question that you just need to ask yourself. And it's really one question. And that one question is, how vulnerable am I? When we think about vulnerability, I'm talking about from you as like a person, as well as how vulnerable is your business in general, right? And I think what we're experiencing here with the virus and everything that's going on in the world and the way that that quickly impacted the entire industry and the entire world across a variety of industries, I think what we're really seeing though is how one-sided many of us were, especially from a real estate business perspective. And we, even in our own brokerage, we've been very successful. We've been very fortunate. We have some of the best agents in the business, but we push folks down one lane. And I still firmly believe that having one core focus in this business, we call them lanes, is a good idea. But we've had agents that built their entire business on just working with developers, right? And even though I personally would encourage them, hey, you gotta also layer in social, you gotta layer in digital, you gotta make sure you're still touching base with your past clients. I wouldn't ignore this, I wouldn't ignore that. Just because 80 to 90% of your focus is on one thing doesn't mean that you shouldn't have 10 to 20% somewhere else, right? And that becomes exposed when the market shifts, when something happens unexpectedly like COVID-19 did. Because now you have agents who are great agents, who had a nice business, who had built it in one trajectory, and now the builders aren't building as much anymore. They have all backed off. And just like that, their business is in big trouble. We saw this we have agents, we have a huge relationship within Century 21 with an affinity business. That affinity business went away overnight, went away. We had agents who 75 to 80% of their business came from that one source. So I want you guys to take this time while you have more time on your hands than you probably normally would. And I want you to dig deep and really ask yourself, and it's an uncomfortable question, but how vulnerable am I and how vulnerable is my business? And when I say how vulnerable am I mean right now, all of you need to really ask yourself financially, how vulnerable are you? If you had to go another 6, 8 weeks, 2 months, 3 months without a paycheck, can you do it? And if the answer is no, then you need to start really being creative about how you're still growing your business and working right now. Because that is very likely a possibility that you're not going to do much business here over the next couple months. And so that directly relates to your income. So that's a difficult conversation to have, but it's a conversation you need to have right now. And then when we look at your business, how vulnerable is your business? Where's the business coming from? Is it one-sided, right? Am I too tied up in one? Are all my eggs in one basket? And we've heard that saying forever, right? Never have all your eggs in one basket. We've heard that saying, but it's so easy to fall into that when you've had success doing something, right? Because we become very romantic about how we got there. And the reality is, as much as I push digital and social, that's why I also push all of you to be on multiple platforms. Because if Instagram goes away tomorrow, I don't want your entire social presence to go away. If Facebook continues to get older and eventually fades out, I don't want you only tied to Facebook. If LinkedIn gets bought and turns into something else tomorrow, I don't want you only on LinkedIn. And then you see the emergence of platforms like TikTok, and you should be spending some of your time there. Not all of it, but some of it, right? So that's my point, and that's really, I don't want to rant just to rant, but I think it's important. And I think right now, while you have a little bit more time on your hands, a little bit more time to reflect, and why you're not having a huge influx for most of you in new business, now's the time to sit back as a business owner, as a CEO of your business, which you are, and act like it. Now's the time to sit back and take a look at it and say, okay, what went well, where didn't, where is my past business coming from? Yes, I have all these past clients, but how did I get them? How am I going to nurture them? How am I going to get more like them? And more importantly, if that source stopped today, if it never recovered when things get back to normal, and they will get back to normal, guys. This is just a response to an event. This is not a financial crisis, okay? So I don't want to freak you out too bad. It will get back to normal. But when it does, different parts of this business will respond and recover at different paces. Builders, depending on how big of a hit they take right now, may take longer to come back than for sale by owners. And I think you're going to see a huge spike in for sale by owners, okay? But that's a great point, right? Let's go on for sale by owners for a second, because for those of you that built for sale by owners, I love for sale by owners because those are literally people in the marketplace saying, hey, looking to sell, right? That's great. And I love it. And we have a whole strategy around going after them. And we have a large group of our agents that make that a core part of their business. But that's the point I want to get across in this video. It needs to be a core part of your business, not all of it. Not your entire business. Core part of your business. A lot of it, not all of it. And it's balance. And that's what we need to get through when I hope all of you come out of this time with more balance. Because for all of you who completely ignored social media and digital because it was a young person's game, you had a ton of past clients, you had builders, you had a bunch of for sale by owners, you had expireds calling you, you had all these other things. You didn't need to go post. You didn't need to go comment. You didn't need to go engage with people on social. Sure, you're right, you didn't. But because of the fact that you didn't, you have zero balance right now in those accounts. You have zero equity built on any of these platforms. So those of you that did post, those of you that did engage, those that have been focused on still building brand equity, building a following on those platforms, and especially those on multiple platforms, you still have a chance to win, and you have a chance to come out of this stronger than everyone else when it all gets back to normal, because you already have a following built up. Some of you are starting from zero. That doesn't mean that you don't start. That doesn't mean that you're like, oh, well, I guess it's over now. No. There's still opportunity, but just let this be a lesson. Let's learn from this. All of us, let's learn from this that we cannot be vulnerable. We need to be diverse a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit, right? It's the reason the Fortune 100 and 500 companies are so successful. They're always diversifying, right? We don't want to be quite that diverse, but we definitely need to pay attention to where our business is coming from and how do we dip our toes into these other sections to make sure that if something happens, there's a blip in the radar, COVID-19 comes out of nowhere, that we're not starting from zero from a social perspective, right? That's just a great example of what we're all experiencing. So let's take this time, guys. Let's grow our business the right way. Digital 100% is a huge factor for every single person right now because it's the only real way you can communicate with people at scale right now. So if I can help do that in any way, I'm here. Please watch some of our content that we've posted. I think that'll help you. The daily marketing guide on beggins3.com, that will probably help you. But if we can help in any way, please let us know. As always, thanks for watching. If you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button for us. And that way, more videos like this that just might be little reminders, little tidbits, little expertise that might help you. You'll get reminders for those. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.